the game of checkers in life, sometimes you make the wrong move and get jumped. If you made the wrong move and need money fast, we're here to capitalize on that. Some people are destined to make the wrong move over and over again. It's okay. It's all right. What are possessions and life's treasures if you can't cash them in during a self-imposed crisis? At Abigo Brokerage and Pawn, we'll secure the funds you need for any collateral items you can get your hands on. Just bring in your stock, jewelry, electronics, munitions, dust, automobiles, power tools, home, movies, children, exercise equipment, pets, coin collection, or your spleen, liver, or kidney, and we'll give you cash on the spot. After all, some habits are expensive. We don't need proof of ownership. We're about the most basic exchange. Goods for money. We'll buy anything, including your dignity. Abigo Brokerage and Pawn.
You think you got bass, homeboy? That ain't bass. This is real bass. K-Job.
It's the martial law show, and if you're working, quit. You know what I say, the higher the monkey climb, the more exposed, man. This is rubber dub in its fullest.
What do you think about when I say bang bang?
Right now you want to say, you see the big fat man there with the 500-pound vampire?
To all you scientists, hey guys at Happy Farmers, I'm running low.
Yo, what's going on? NPC the game. Gabriel Carbo. Back at it again. Early morning. Not so early. Mid morning here in District 13, Taiwan, the real Shaolin. Good to see everyone in the damn chat. Hurricane. Been a minute. Watch me tower. Salute. Rude Mud Crab. It's an honor. Crazy Mama. What's going on? What's going on, fam? The Raging Patriot in the house. What up, dope? I like that. What up, dude? You must be from, yeah, we know. I get you with that one. Yo, it's been an interesting week. Officially on vacation. I'm gonna be streaming probably every day now. Yes, every day. I'll commit to that. I can commit to that. It's definitely, yeah, like I said, it's definitely been a learning experience. It's been fucking fun to get shit off my chest. And always have a good time to stream. Like I said last week, this is like a luxury for some of us. For me, definitely to stream. And I'm not gonna really take it for granted. This is something that probably been wanting to do all my life. And now we have the mediums, the tools to do it. And as an artist, your medium is your magic wand, right? So you can express yourself here and now, right? Art. We're an artist. Right? The art of listening and the art of creating is what we're doing here. Today's episode is Wisdom Cipher, the trajectory of content, and Shanghai family of three die one after the other. Shout out to Grid One. And we had a good interview yesterday with Glenn Lawrence over here on his channel. That was fun. It was kind of cool to see how me talking about my narrative, my story, actually brought something out of him. I guess we can call it an uncommon commonality. And when he was talking about his childhood, growing up and hitting the same spots that I would frequent from time to time uh, in L.A. area, Ventura County, and it was cool to see him light up when we're talking about that. And yeah, that's the thing. On one end, they call it an interview, but really, we're interviewing each other, which is a conversation, being an active listener. And active listening is something that is been beat over my head this last season, I'll call it. I'm using the Fortnite terminology. This season has been a learning lesson of active listening, right? We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Slowing down and listening to what people are saying will cause you to understand the communication that's being shown to you, and will clear up a lot of misunderstandings. You know, I actually listened to. Oh shit! I'm just looking at the chat. There he is, man. It's been a minute, man. What's up, man? Good to see you, bro. Good that you're here. I had meant to send you an email to the spot so we can meet up and break bread, bro. But good to have you here. The great London man, London Kubrick, to be right and exact. Shout out to Look Within, the hardest working man in the metaverse. Day one shooter for NPC the game, definitely. Raging Patriot comment. These YouTube streets are on tilt. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Look at bro coming up with all the lingo. I love it. And Crazy Mama's comment. Remember, what y'all put out on the web is forever. Right. The internet is forever. It is the mistakes we make on the internet definitely are there. Everything we put on the internet is forever. So if we fuck up and make mistakes, we do it together. You know? Yeah. I love hearing childhood stories too. That was the Glenn interview was like all the stories were coming out. My time in Santa Paula, Ventura County, which is literally down the street from Neverland Ranch. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so active listening, man. It can literally change the way you see somebody. And I listen to, because I'm so busy making content and building with my family and friends, that I didn't really get a chance to catch up on some of these streams. And I actually listened to the stream that Avoided Hornet invited me to the other day. And it was very late notice for me when he invited me, so I definitely wasn't going to go to it because I have other things scheduled. But I listened to it and made me think, man, like from the other person's perspective, how I look and how they look, right? So, and they said a lot of things that actually were right on, but then a lot of some of the things I didn't agree with for sure. I think some people on there, like that guy, what's his name? I keep saying that. What's his name? No disrespect, but avoided hornet. He seems like, even though he says it's just for fun, shenanigans, I think he says we're just fucking around. It actually, his broadcast actually sounds like something that I probably would have listened to on my way to work or travels on the radio, like a NPR podcast or something like that. The banner between him and his friends and cohorts. So that was cool. It's kind of comforting to hear people talking and stuff, giving their ideas. But once again, it is their ideas, and it's kind of weird when you're involved in a situation, hearing other people talk about it who are not even involved in it other than being a listener, active listener or dormant listener. So I listened to what they had to say, and couple like the woman that was on the panel, I don't know her name. She made some interesting points and stuff, and seems like she was thoughtful and whatnot. But then she said some weird shit that I don't agree with. Uh, about like masculinity and what men should do and shouldn't do, and and because people don't know each other really, and there's confusion, we tend to label people things that are not even what they're about really. You know, that's a lot of because we do have the power to define. That is a power they talk about literally in the Bible, for you all you Bible thumpers, in the book of Genesis, where the Most High gave Adam, his creation, the power to define and name the animals and the plants of the earth, the fauna and flora. So we do have the power to define. And unless you don't take a stand and define who you are, what you're about, somebody else is going to do it for you. You know, and they were doing it for me, talking about astrology, and I think they kept asking. They were like really obsessed. Is this channel an astrology channel? Well, it's a channel that I talk about the things that interest me, and talk with the people who interest me, right? And astrology is something definitely that interests me. And call it what you want, pseudoscience or whatnot, or crap. Like they were basically saying, it's like, if something works for you and it helps you with your communication and relate to people and understand people and have patience with them, hey man, if it works, it works, you know? But to say that astrology, it doesn't match up with red pill, and I guess you assume red pill is just about masculinity or whatnot. Red pill awareness is about masculinity. It's kind of a weird thing to say to me, to hear, because technically, if you look at history, throughout antiquity, the astrologers and astronomers have been only, a lot of times in a lot of cultures, only men. So it isn't only in recent modernity that women have taken that modality that and identified as the astrologer, you know, in terms of the sexes and whatnot. When in fact, there's a lot of high-powered gangster scientists dropping knowledge about astrology and other metaphysical things, as well as hard science too, that are men, you know, about like soft sciences, I guess, psychology, sociology. There's men doing that too, even social work. Damn near that, what's that motherfucker in Meeting the Fockers? Greg Focker, that's a fictional movie, but he was a nurse, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's funny. You do what you do. I'm just saying that how it stood out. Just like how, for me, some of my family out here in the YouTube channel, they probably were surprised and were like, "What? That doesn't add up." I'm not used to seeing NPC the game, you know, talk like that, because a lot of the stuff he does says is positive, and you know, and it's in accord with righteousness. So it's same thing as you said, my dear madam. Sorry, I don't know your name. A lot of the stuff you said was actually very thoughtful, but then when you said stuff like that, it's like, bro, that's kind of a not very thoughtful things to say. Not just because I don't agree, but because they don't add up. The math and the science don't add up with what you were saying. If you look at history and what's really going on right now. But anyway, I think we're talking about numbers, which leads us to wisdom cipher. Wisdom, the number 2, woman. 0, cipher, womb. You know, we're talking supreme mathematics in terms of the nations of gods and earth. But they were talking about numbers on that channel. About, some people said, and even Neve said when she got on the channel, I think she said the next day she was drunk. So, ooh, makes sense. She was saying, like, they were saying, and some people in the background were speaking kind of loud. and they had the most to say negative. They they were saying like my channel is irrelevant because it has 400 subs, and how dare I talk? Oh, I think it was Dave said that. How dare I talk about a bigger channel? When in fact, yes, this channel is 400 and last time I checked, 43 subs. I think the only subs I lost with this weekend was Imp Dave and if Lauren was sub too. So anyway, but the this channel has 430 subs, yet I get like about half the viewership in terms of views, and I have a shitload of hours watched on these videos. And mind you, this channel has only been around since 2003. Not 2000. Wow, I'm tripping. Flip that, reverse that. It's only been around since June 4th, 2023, and it's only been actively posting on it for about 4 months, and it already has a little under 200,000 views. Whereas those other channels like Neve and other, I think they barely hit 100K, if that. So yeah, man, we're talking about numbers, man. Like that doesn't move me per se, but hey, if you're gonna talk about it, I'll make it happen. I can really talk about it. I used to think it was funny how back in college at Long Beach State, my friend Ryan from Crenshaw Mafia, he would say, we would ask him like, who's your favorite basketball player? Or someone would ask us that, and I would say, shit, Jordan, bro. He's the GOAT. Everyone knows that. And he's the only person I hear say this ever. I said, Ryan, who's your favorite? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm like, what? Kareem? You know? And I said, why Kareem? He's all, because he got the most points on the board. Yeah. Spoken like a true LA nigga. It's shit. Right? But yeah, I mean, numbers are numbers, right? But it's about quality too over quantity. And some folks were throwing a little shade about like our awards, and it's like you may think that it was whatever it was what you were saying, but obviously somebody liked it. A lot of people liked it, right? Obviously the heavy hitters, all of them from all the sectors of the R&B, all of the above panelverse co-signed it and loved it and want more. So I don't know what y'all are talking about, but it is your opinion. And even if it doesn't fit with mine, I can learn from it too. You know, just like I can learn from, hopefully you can learn shit from me in terms of if I do good or do bad. So you don't have to go through it. And for the record, Neve, you were saying, why am I even putting videos of Andrew Wilson like on the nominees? Or why are we doing that and stuff? Well, it's because if anything, he'd probably win every single award if we put him on in the nominees. And in fact, and you said like he doesn't even watch it. In fact, Andrew Wilson sent me DMs saying that he actually was kind of salty that I didn't put him up. No, he said it hurt my feelings. And I get it's probably tongue in cheek too, but you know, at least he's reaching out. He said it hurt my feelings that I wasn't up for Streamer of the Year. So I thought that was funny coming from the great Andrew Wilson, because whether you like him or not, all roads in all of the above sector of the panelverse lead to Andrew Wilson, seems like, and probably go beyond that too. But let's keep it 100, bro. Let's keep it 100. Larry Bird, okay, I heard that. Larry Bird. He was good. You know, he was good. Just White in the house, legendary. Loving the profile pic. Legendary, prolific streamer, nominee for most prolific long streamer, marathon streamer, Panelverse Awards. Yeah, Layla, what's up, Shifty? I heard they banned you from Glenn Lawrence. Yeah. But yeah, real quick. I mean, this is gonna be open panel for sure. You know, but this whole thing about the Wisdom Cipher, supreme mathematics, and just if you don't know what supreme mathematics are, it's just a way of looking at numbers and seeing how they relate to what's really going on in your life. You know, a template as you may. And the supreme mathematics are from the teachings of the nations of gods and earth, and it's a system of, we can say, understanding numbers alongside concepts that are used along with what we call the supreme alphabet as tools to unlocking the keys to your reality and the universe, one could say. It was Clarence 13X who invented the system after splitting with the Nation of Islam. And despite its name, the supreme mathematics is not actual mathematics. It's instead of like a variety of numerology. And it's specific to theology. Theology is the study of God, right? And in the Nation of Islam, offshoot of the actual Nation of Islam say this, but they don't say it anymore, only in their inner circle. They used to say it more publicly. But the Nation of Gods and Earth, who are a spin-off of the Nation of Islam, they literally believe that man is God and woman is goddess here on earth. Woman is earth, as they say. The God is here and the man is God here on earth, meaning man is a offshoot of God here on earth, an example of it, right? And when you think about the nations of gods and earth, or 5%ers, they call them, think about musical groups like Wu-Tang Clan, R&B singers like Erykah Badu. These people are members of the nation of gods and earth. And they have an interesting way of looking at reality and how it plays out. You know what I'm saying? We could say even that that this supreme mathematics almost anthropomorphizes, makes the numbers come alive with giving them characteristics such as knowledge and understanding, and the fact that that it's kind of different than the modern way we use mathematics. Some people may look at it as kind of like, this is quasi, doesn't make any, you call it mathematics, but you ain't talking about math, right? But when we say math and science, we're talking about mathematics, measuring the science, the signs of life, right? Mathematics and science, aka the 85% would probably call it critical thinking, which is very important nowadays. I believe, I know it's very important. That's all there is, in a sense. And let me break it down for you real quick. Although the definition of the terms are accepted throughout the nation of gods and earths, it's up to the person's interpretation, but this is basically the foundation of what the numbers represent. One representing knowledge, which is simply the accumulation of facts through observing, learning, and respecting knowledge, right? Because knowledge is the foundation of all in existence, for it must be known in order to make itself manifest here in the present moment. The Father, the man, is knowledge, right? Knowledge is the light given off by our sun, which is the foundation of our solar system. As they say, the original man is the foundation of Allah's family, right? The original man, the Father. Now, number two, like today we're on 2 day. It's the 20th. It's the 20th today over here in Shaolin, District 13, Taiwan. So this is when we say, what's the science of the day? They'll say it's 20th. It's the 20th. So that's knowledge, wisdom, cipher. 2-0. 2 is wisdom. Wisdom is wise words being spoken, or to speak knowledge, or your wisdom, meaning having a wise mind and acting accordingly on your wisdom. Wisdom is, I see it as water, which is literally the vital building block of life. Wisdom is the original woman, because life is continued through the cipher, the womb, right? 0, the womb, the void. It's also a reflection of one's knowledge, and it's shown improved by the moon. The moon, the woman, being a reflection of the sun's light, of the man's light. Knowledge plus reflection of knowledge equals wisdom, right? 1 + 1 = 2, right? You feeling me? put a 20 in the chat if you're following me, and if not, we can slow it down a bit. I just like having modalities and tools to use so I can better understand what might be going on, and actually it makes mundane, normal reality a lot more exciting for me, right? Oh, he's following. Okay, he's following. 7 colors in the rainbow for sure. 7 days, 7 planets. So number 3, understanding is what improves the completion of knowledge and wisdom in man. So if man is 1, knowledge, woman is 2, wisdom, then 3, understanding is the children, the child. Understanding is clear mental comprehension. It is the original child, which are star. It's a star, right? The highest form of understanding is love. That love, the bond between man and woman, or knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge plus wisdom equals understanding. 1 + 1 = 3. You see? You see? He's actively listening, huh? It says, I'm gay for 7. 7 is, you're happy for 7, huh? 7 is a divine number, right? That's the goddess number. It cannot be created. It cannot be copied. I mean, it is the divine number, right? Hey, what's going on? Oh, good to see you. I really like numerology. I need to learn more though. What's your life path number? Mine is 9. Mine 9 is 9. Some people would say in my Mayan astrology, my ancestors, the Mayans, they would say 9 is completion. This is why a lot of 9 life paths are, it's almost like been there, done that. We've seen everything that's happened. We've seen it played out. If you believe in reincarnation, we've been here many times and whatnot. So we're here to assist and put the finishing touches on this thing we call the meta narrative of life, of the soul, in order to move on off the wheel of karma. So 9 has been there, done that, completion. What's your, Charlie, what is your life path number? I'm curious. And matter of fact, Charlie's a great artist who was gracious enough and generous enough to let me collab and use some of her amazing art in the background, or in the foreground too, of the fractal nature of the universe. Yeah. 9 spiral, right? That's right. Yeah, thank you. Your wise wisdom, definitely have to be wise today, right? Wise wisdom for sure. Yes, they're teachers and leaders for sure. And that's the thing too. That's literally my day job, is teaching. And I think I keep bringing it back to Avoid Hornet, because even though I want to say fuck you, I actually like listening to them, because, hey man, they were talking about me. Maybe they have me misunderstood because they don't really know me, just like I have them misunderstood. I don't know them. It was interesting. I'm not even at you at this point on this video, because I'm talking about you so much. Avoid Hornet. But yeah, I'm a teacher, and I think someone said, "Oh, he's a teacher," like they're gonna cancel me if they heard what he was saying. The school's gonna fire him. Well, it's kind of hard to fire someone when you're the owner and the operator of the school. So unless I fire myself for my words, I don't think that's gonna happen. Okay, just to keep it 100. Anyway, but Charlie, I'm a 5. Okay, 5. 5. Five. I remember Gary the number guy saying that fives are very like beautiful and the sexual aspect is there. And when I think about 5, I think about the fifth letter of the number of the zodiac sign, Leo. Children represents children, self-expression, art, hobbies, luck, all that good stuff. Fives are really good, really, really, really good. Okay. I have 555 in my life path, urge and expressions all the way. Let's get to 5 then. Right? Let's go. Let's go. So, like I was saying, we were talking about understanding 3 to children. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, man, woman, and child. Sun, moon, stars. Right? So 4, number 4 is culture freedom. It's one's way of living. Your culture, right? Culture, cult. There's a lot of cults going on here, out here in the panel verse. Your cult is a unrighteous version of a tribe, your community, right? Culture freedom is one way we call it, right? Number 4, meaning one's language, wisdom, and customs, ways, and actions, right? The original man's culture is Islam, right? Freedom, justice, equality, which is peace. 5, this is what you're speaking on, my friend. 5, power. That's what that is. Number 5, supreme mathematics. Power is the force of or creative energy. Power is the truth, which is Allah's mathematics. To have knowledge of culture of Islam is to have power, right? Knowledge is power. We hear that all the time, right? The lion, the noble royalty, Jah, power. Now, number 6, equality is the state or quality of being equal, meaning to deal equally with all in existence. Equality is achieved by teaching others knowledge and wisdom and making it understood through understanding, right? People say, oh, you have knowledge, you got the high power knowledge, but in order to embrace it and really become it, you have to have wisdom, which is taking the knowledge and eating it and digesting it, and then shitting out what you don't need, right? And keeping what you do need, which leads to understanding. Now, number 7, God. And we can say God, goddess, but we'll say God. 7 is God. Allah is God, the supreme being. And the 5%ers will say the black man. Who is the original? Is God Allah, the Lord of all the worlds, the supreme ruler of the universe, which is everything, the sun, moon, and the stars? God is the sun in the solar system. Man is the sun. Woman is the moon. The child is the star. All right, 7 is that divine number. And then number 8, and this is what we were on this weekend, build or destroy. You can either build or destroy. Number 8. To build is to elevate the mentality of the self and others around the self, to add positive energy to Allah's nation. To destroy is to ruin by allowing negativity to outweigh the positive. If you have this house, like my house is kind of old. I'm on the 4th floor of my house right now. It's old. There's some cracks in the wall from the earthquakes because we live in the ring of fire here over here in District 13. And to be honest, instead of like remodeling it, most likely the best thing to do would be for me to destroy the whole house and then build, right? From scratch. The land, the foundation's still there, the land. But in order to do it right, sometimes you got to destroy old things that weren't serving you in order to build for the future, which is now. So 9, we're talking about I'm a life path 9. 9 is born, what we call born. Born is the completion of all in existence, which is to manifest from knowledge to born, from 1 to 9. These are the laws of mathematics, to be complete in itself. 0, like today's the 20th, so we got wisdom, cipher. 0 is cipher. Cipher is the completion of a circle consisting of 360 degrees, 120 degrees of knowledge, 120 degrees of wisdom, 120 degrees of understanding, which is a whole. Add them up together. All in existence pertains to a cipher, the circle, building. Understanding the use of supreme mathematics, it's an alternative way to express numbers. Yeah. So single digits are often referred to by the title alone. Like if I have it, like I said, like today's 2. If it was just the second day of the month, we say it's a wisdom day. You know, so the number 2 would be expressed as wisdom. And then multiple digits can be expressed in different ways. So like if I'm talking to someone that knows the supreme mathematics, in the course of a casual conversation, a number with more than like 1 digit will often be referred to by the names given in the supreme mathematics. So for example, if I have, now follow me, walk with me, fam. So if I have the number, let's say 183, it could be expressed as knowledge, build, understanding in a casual conversation. A number with multiple digits can also be expressed using addition, which involves adding the numbers together. And if the result is a number with more than 1 digit, then the individual numbers are again added together. So until we continue this, until we get the final answer is in 1 digit. So like simplifying it. So to use the example above, 183 can be expressed as knowledge, build, understanding. If one were to use the second method, we first have to complete the addition of the digits contained in the original number. So a 1 plus 8 plus 3 equals 12. And because our results are more than 1 digit, we repeat the process. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So the final result of the number would be 3, right? Understanding. To express it, however, this format would be used. Listen to this. Knowledge, build, understanding, all born knowledge, wisdom, all born understanding. So in using this alternative method, each result of the addition is captured and they are separated with the phrase all born. And this method of expressing a number is only used in specific circumstances and usually not throughout the course of a casual conversation. It's usually used with like high-powered scientists you're talking to, right? Street scientists. And the whole thing about it is it literally gives you a chance to express some of the higher philosophical things you're seeing in real time, right? Giving you a template to use, a language to use. And which is a way, this language you can use to understand your beliefs, your philosophy of life. Because each person is going to have their own interpretation, but there is a foundation to it that to work off of. Yo, what's up, Izzy? How's it going? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah. Good to see you. Absolutely. Look within. My daughter is an 11. She has 3 master numbers and her 5 core numbers. No one else in my family has one. 11, that's what they say, the master number, right? Yeah, for sure. My son was born on the 22nd. That's the double 2 master number, right? Yeah. Hey, Izzy, you put in work this weekend. Izzy, it's interesting enough, like how all these strong male personalities in all of the above sector, the panelverse, are out there, and it's like a lot of women, wisdom too, are behind the scenes a lot of times, but they're making moves that are motivating these men, number one, knowledge, to in the right direction, you know. And don't get me wrong, a lot they're the men are doing the same thing for the women as well. But this weekend, definitely shout out to Izzy and Leopard Print and Crazy Mama for holding it down in this as we surf this mini apocalyptic war. I think Resto is calling it the Avengers War or whatever, you know, something like that. But it was wild. Yeah, this shit was learning experience, right? So real quick, today is Wisdom Cipher, the 20th of January. And so today's mathematics, we would say, is wisdom, and that's the 2 and the 0. And I just wanted to take a moment and give you some perspective on that. And the wisdom is the right discernment or right judgment, right? And a cipher is any person, place, or thing. So when you're looking at any person, place, or thing, it's always important to consider what component of wisdom I can learn from this, what you can learn from the situation, what you can learn from that person or place or thing, because everything's teaching, right? If you slow down, because that component of wisdom too is something that will enable us to rightly judge or rightly discern certain challenges that we meet, certain obstacles in our journey of life. So, like, for example, I'll give you an example. If you think about wisdom as it relates to people when you're studying cultures, right? Cultures all have a tradition or proverbs or colloquialisms or sayings, wise words, we could say, things that you learn that may be in the form of fables, like a story. I think about from my father's tradition in West Africa, Mali, the Dogon people. They have the ant and the grasshopper, or the fox and the grapes, are different stories that you learn to teach you right discernment. Or when you learn wisdom from those type of stories, it's a tradition. Also, in many different societies, you have wisdom keepers from those societies. So that represents the wisdom of that particular cipher, 0 cipher, dealing with people, places. And if you look at things from a geographical perspective, various different landscapes have various different climates. And those climates have life that's related to the type of environment. And you can learn a lot from studying how that life either sustains life or is unable to sustain itself in that type of climate or environment. It's Taoism, you know, we can say, studying nature in the highest forms of the Bible too. In the esoteric, if you get an esoteric reading of the Bible, it tells you to witness nature, God's creation, in order to learn. So in that type of climate or environment, take, for example, the Serengeti Desert in Africa. It's a very arid and harsh environment. However, you have people who have developed the capacity to not only survive in an environment like that, but they're able to thrive. And even though you may not live in the Serengeti Desert, you may experience desert-like conditions in your own life. You may be going through experiences that are arid and harsh. And by observing the way that people are able to navigate that type of terrain and survive and thrive in those actual geographic locations, you might have the ability to extract the wisdom of how to apply it to your everyday life, so you don't got to live in a desert. You don't have to be in that to experience that desert in your own life. Things animate and and inanimate objects around you. From those things, you can learn wisdom. And it can be something simple too. I don't have a picture of it, but you can picture a rock, right? Because a rock symbolizes stability, fortitude, integrity. The foundation's there. A lot of things you can learn from just studying a rock, literally studying a rock, for example. That's wisdom. That is also attached to that particular cipher, 0. So wisdom cipher 2020 is your ability to learn from people, the places, and the things, nouns we call them, right, that are around you. So this can be empowering and educational. So I'm just giving you a little bit of insight in today's mathematics. You know, that's what you said earlier. The internet's forever, and if we fuck up, we're on this journey together. And if we fuck up, we're on this journey together. You know, it's Monday here, new day, reset. Some people reset on Sunday. It's all here. Shout out to you, lovely one that just sent me the message. Good to see you. Good to have you. Yeah. So there's a lot to learn, a lot of wisdom, because if you look at it, 2-0, right? Wisdom 2-0 cipher 20th. And if we add 2 to 0, what is that? 2. So wisdom. That's the thing. Wisdom, the woman, the one with the womb, right? The man with the womb. Yeah. So this is to reset the name of the episode today, the broadcast, Wisdom Cipher, the trajectory of content. Shanghai family of 3 dies one after the other. So the trajectory of content is, it goes up, it stays up, then it goes down. It goes up and down. Life is like a roller coaster. There's up and downs and spins and all that. However, like Bill Hicks says, it's a ride. This content is taking us on a ride. Hopefully you're not constantly on the downward plummet of that, like when you go over the roller coaster, the edge, the vortex, and your stomach is up on the top while your body's on the bottom, going on that 90-degree angle almost, feels like. Yeah, hopefully we're not down on those loops too often. We're more going up and up and up and up and up. But sometimes we just can't keep going up and up, because if you have this highbrow, snobbish, be it political or metaphysical content, like it all, like your shit don't stink, not that many people are going to relate to you, and it's not that fun. We want to have fun while we're learning and growing and evolving. So that's why sometimes we got to go down, right? And get into that petty shit, I guess, a little bit, right? So this is the NBC The Games channel. I call it at times high tier tabloid consciousness. Yeah. Tabloid, right? Anyway, let me drop the link. I'm surprised I can talk that long sometimes. Appreciate everyone there. Much love to Leopard Print. Much love to Leopard Print. Pixel TV. You've been coming. Oh man, I enjoy the mathematics and the mechanics for sure. Yep. So the link is there. I'll pin it. And please come up and build. Let's build on wisdom or cipher, right? Via China, 3 members of the Liu family fall to their death, one after the other. Mother exclaims, "My daughter committed suicide after failing to get perfect marks on her exam, and her parents couldn't bear to witness it. This happened on the 19th in China. And yeah, tragedy occurred in Shanghai, which is mainland China, mainland China is about 100 miles north from where I'm at on the island of Formosa, aka Taiwan. Formosa is a Portuguese word meaning beautiful. So I live on the beautiful island. So a whole family fell from a building one after the other. Right? The whole family, right? Pretty tragic. And of course, the story went away. Hold on, let me get it. Here it is. Boom. Can you imagine like a whole family committing suicide because of grades they got? That's wild, man. Because the grade wasn't what the parents wanted, the child jumped off a building, right? The wisdom, was getting so angry at the child, understanding 3, because the mother wisdom wasn't getting what she thought her understanding the child was supposed to do in terms of getting her potential, right? So much pressure put on these children sometimes that literally the child who was only a 5th grader, they couldn't take it anymore. The little body couldn't take it, right? They decided to end it. Yeah. These children that were here to guide and to steward, they take what we say to the heart, right? They take in everything. Right. Here's a picture of them, censored, of course, of the tragedy that happened in Shanghai yesterday. Family of 3 jumps off a building over grades. It's supposed to be wisdom, right? Education. Look at that. Three people in their family. So a horrific family tragedy recently occurred in a large district community in Manhang District, Shanghai, which in Shanghai is one of the largest, most futuristic cities in mainland China. What's going on, Alex? Good to see you on yesterday at the interview, Glenn Lawrence, right? Yeah. How bad were those grades? Dude, I wouldn't doubt if they were like if the top score is 100, I wouldn't be surprised if the girl got that the 5th grader that deleted herself got a 90% and the mother still wasn't happy. Right? That's how serious it is out here in Asia. You know? It's wild. So a family of 3 fell to their deaths one after another. And it is said that the reason was that the child's test scores were not as good as his parents expected. He was scolded and couldn't think about it. The parents witnessed their daughter doing. Oh, no, now this is a translation, not my words. This is a rough English translation I did on the Chinese. The parents witnessed their daughter doing stupid things on the spot, and their emotions broke down instantly, and it went to a dead end. And they jumped off the building. And at present, the officials and the authorities have not confirmed this matter. However, friends of the family are saying it was over grades. And according to the mainland media Channel News, the incident happened on January 14th. And according to people familiar with the matter, the little girl who fell from the building was in the 5th grade of an elementary school. 5th grade. 5th grade. What's going on, Jack Talcott? Brother Jack Talcott. Greetings, blessings, and love to all gathered. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. 5th grade, are we saying? We're saying 5th grade. Now, she failed to get 100 points in the final exam. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if she even got a 99 and it still wasn't good enough. This is the pressure some parents be putting on their children. Some parents don't neglect their children, don't even care what they do in school. This parent was the ultimate helicopter, Apache helicopter on them, on their child. Hovering, and chipping away with the blades of being overcritical, right? Shout out to Alex with a comment. Your grades don't even matter in 5th grade. Like, that's not going to stop her from getting into any specific college. But as crazy as it is for us to make sense, no, for sure, the grades do, though. I know from I don't know if you ever spent some time out here, Alex, in Asia, the real Shaolin, but it's serious out here. My son is in 1st grade, 6 years old, and he had a final. Chinese component, English component, mathematics component, social studies component, health component. Yeah. I think he ended up getting like a total score of like 95, which is great. But there's some kids, like some of the children I teach at my school in 1st grade too, they got a 99 and they were unhappy. And I think they said it jokingly, but one of my students, Lana, she was like, if I don't get 100, my mom says she's going to beat me. But she says if I get 100, she'll give me money. Right? And she got 100, so she got money. But she giggled when she said beat me, and I don't think that's I don't think she would do that, but obviously there's parents over here. Now, mind you, Taiwan is not China. Taiwan's more like America or the West or Canada, right? Whereas China's China. Might as well be like North Korea kind of in a way. No shade on them, but let's talk about what's really going on, right? And shout out to Shifty. What's going on, man? How's it going?
Chilling, my friend. It's a great stream, great interview. I was just hearing it. I wanted to support, but I didn't realize I was banned. Shit.
Yeah, I was gonna do a show about that, a broadcast maybe tomorrow or the next day about. I was gonna call it like shift banned. Right, and we'll put the duck up there.
It's okay. I mean, I think it was like something I said with based Oracle in the past or something. I don't.
Long ago?
Yeah, I don't apologize or whatever. At the end of the day, I only hang out in cool spots. Your interview was great, though. It was great.
Appreciate it, man. I had fun.
Yeah, you had fun, and there was some good. Glenn had some good ideas, like. That I thought, that's to take your show to the next level, which is what we all want to see, especially
get that crowdsource going.
Exactly, and
that was good.
Yeah, but it also shows you like how classy it was. It was a really good interview. Grid 1 went up, and it was great, man. 3 hours of good time.
Hey, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you watching. I knew you were there somewhere. You weren't gonna let that stop you.
I made the comments in the Discord, but at the end of the day, it's all good. Like, I don't, you know me, man. I don't give a shit.
Right.
But yeah, but that's why I asked you to restream, so that way it's like, The comments would have made up anyway, but it's all good.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think about that. I guess yeah. Well, I'm glad you're able to watch it. And thanks for coming up right now. And let's get through this article because it's pretty wild. Did you hear about this? This family killed themselves over not getting 100. Their kid not getting 100 on the test.
Maybe there's something more to it. Like maybe they.
Well, it has to be, but
yeah, maybe they said something to the Communist Party, and they got threatened maybe from officials because you know how the Communist Party is in China. They're pretty fucking ruthless over there.
yeah, that's true. But I like to stick to Occam's razor, like trying to look at what most likely would happen. And that's definitely a scenario, but bro, I see it, man. Especially as an educator, how serious people take these things. There's kids that jump off buildings here because of grades and other stuff. So I'm thinking that this is legit in terms of what happened. So it says after being scolded by her mother, she jumped directly from the high building. And after witnessing the whole process, the mother completely lost her mind and jumped down. And in the end, the father desperately chose to commit suicide. Damn.
Wow, that's
He jumped too.
it kind of shows
1, 2,
the hyper competitiveness. This is like
Yeah.
extreme, like to the point I'm like, dude, I talk about like having your mission or die, but not in this sense. Like this is insane,
Right. Yeah, this is what because we're talking about supreme mathematics, and like that's the man on the left, one, knowledge. That's the woman in the middle, or the woman on the side, wisdom, right? 2, and then in the middle, 3, understanding the child. But this is done in an unbalanced way, represented. How,
Yeah. I would also add your ability to have good judgment on the knowledge, what is good knowledge and what is bad, because nowadays it's there's so much fucking shit out there that most people get overwhelmed with the information, so they can't discern what is real and what is not. So
Right.
sometimes it's best to slow down.
Yeah, so that's the message, man. Lately, slow down, man. Let that inertia catch up, right? So give it a chance to slow down. Comment from Alex makes you ask yourself how hard is being too hard on your kids, right? Like discipline and expectations are important, but how far is too far? Oh, that's too far.
Yeah, this is a classic example of this is beyond extremism. This is like I don't even know what to think about this. It's madness. Let me just call it madness.
It's mad. Yeah, it is. Comment from brother Jack Talcott. This story is an example to learn from with compassion. Societal and familial expectations can become heavy burdens instead of inspiration. So, how do we come from inspiration? How do we inspire our family? Shifty.
Through our actions, that's the most biggest thing, and also, hopefully we do everything honestly, and also show that it's okay to make mistakes, and also to the point where, I think I'm not a parent. I want to be a parent one day, but it's kind of like you have to be stern but fair. I think as a father, right? Where
Absolutely.
Yeah, like you can't let the kid get away with everything, but at the same time, you got to let them decide what is good judgment, what is good, what is bad. Learn from their mistakes, allow them to grow on their own, but also like kind of guide them. Like you have to lead with your actions and what you say, and because kids, they absorb everything like a sponge. So
Yeah. Yeah, they give you, because they're absorbing everything, they give you a chance to live with integrity. Because every move that you make, they're watching you, like that Sting song. Right?
Yep.
Every move they make, bro. There was some crazy mama with a comment. Let's be honest. Most can't think for themselves. Yeah, most people can't. I guess that's what we're here for, huh? Yeah. that baby had way too much pressure on her for sure. And then the dad doing that was, and then not to mention all the parents, the grandparents, the cousins, the aunties, the friends at school, the teachers that are left behind to process all this. You know, self deletion is not just, it doesn't just end with the person once they leave here, right?
Yeah, it damaged everybody in the community, and and people around you. Like, they'll be devastated for years.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "What happened?" And most people, it's hard to find people that they're going to commit like that type of pseudoku. I say pseudoku, so for the YouTube algo, it's like they would leave like it's hard to find that. They would leave probably like a goodbye letter, like after, or a manifesto, or I don't know. It's just it's kind of scary. Yeah.
Right. And the police, so it says, let's continue. The police arrived, let me see. The police arrived at the scene after receiving the report, quickly set up a corridor and covered the 3 bodies with a blue cloth, as we see right there, right? As we see right there. And a net citizen who claimed to be a neighbor said that the 3 people fell on the platform below his house and witnessed the police handling the situation until the funeral Holmes' car drove away. Damn, so it felt like on his overhang.
Oh man.
Jesus.
Man, can you imagine, like, you're there and then you just hear a big thump? Like, damn, man. And then you just see bodies and it's like, dude, you'll be traumatized forever. Like,
Right. Forever. And there's, because my father-in-law, who I never met, he was a professor in biomedical engineering at the National University. And he was like, he was a legend, right? Maverick in his field, right? And we have a lot of family friends today that are in our circle because of the relationship they had with my wife's father. And I've heard it, like in the 8-9 years I've been living here, 2 times, bro. 2 different professors that I used to work with. They went to the top of the building. One had cancer, another one had marital problems, and they jumped on the university. Yeah.
oh my goodness. I mean, with the cancer, marital, like, like, it's tough, man. When you get, like, say you got like a terminal illness, or you had, like, say you've been with a woman for like 40 years and then you just get a divorce, that's the mental stress of that is just the cancer. It's like you're close to dying. It's gotta be surreal. While a divorce can feel like you've been with a person for so long, it's kind of like your soul ripping apart. It's like you don't know what to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like that father, like his whole world, his daughter and his wife left, so he's like, fuck it. And here's the thing too, the whole jumping too off the building, people don't realize though that they could have fallen on somebody. I get it, the little girl doesn't know better, but come on, bro. Even they could have killed somebody doing that too, right? They're not thinking.
Yeah, they're not thinking at all. Yeah. It's like it's kind of like extreme, like a mental freeze, like, and they decide to just go crazy,
Yeah. Yep. So it says the funeral car pulled away, and the neighbor that witnessed this, he laid on the window and cried for a long time. He was also very busily tutoring his children with homework. Oh my God. How ironic, huh? So when that was happening, he was working with his own children's homework. Wow.
Oh man, it's just it gets worse and worse.
Yeah. I don't understand how such a tragedy could happen, one net citizen said, sadly, after seeing the news. This is a tragedy caused by abnormal educational concepts. Yeah. And many parents understand that the healthy growth of their children is the most important thing. However, they cannot be emotionally stable when faced with grades. The authenticity of this incident still needs to be responded to by by the departments. So yeah, man,
I mean, it
it's
kind
more
of,
important, you know.
I mean, kind of just reminds me, like, even Alex put here, my best friend is a coroner. They see hell every day. Yeah, to see a dead body is something like, is something else. Like,
Yeah,
I had to experience that like 2 years ago when I saw my grandmother die, take her last breath. It was, still remember it. It was just, like when a soul leaves its body, the last breath, it's just, I could never forget that moment ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a because I was with. Sorry for your loss, man. I was like with my grandma when she passed away too, and I thought it, even though it was hard and stuff, I took it as like an opportunity for me too, as because most people don't get to see that, experiencing that part of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also too to be with her and try to comfort her in my way.
Yeah.
And maybe in the end, she was comforting. I had to be there because I had to be. She was comforting me. But I remember what I did was because at the time I was studying the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which is basically helps one supposedly travel through the bardos of the death realm as the soul's leaving, and some working meditations and exercises you can use to get ready for that. So I was literally trying to help my grandma get ready to transition to wherever she's going. And yeah, it was a powerful experience. It was sad too because that's my grandma I was been talking about. He's a Gemini, and I value Geminis. That's in my second house, and she was like, don't get me wrong, my mom when she passed, it was hard and whatnot, but my grandma, that was like my hero in the sense that I remember when she used to come home from working because she was the head waitress at this restaurant, this fancy restaurant, and she come home and I just latch onto her legs, like, and be like, just so happy to see her. I even remember that, and that was like when I was probably like 3 or 4 years old to this day. Yeah, and yeah, those Geminis. I mean, there's a Gemini right now. He's about to become president, right? Sworn in any minute now, or he was already, right? Did they already have that?
I mean, he's making money. He's making money off his meme coin right now. I mean,
Yeah.
it went from like what, like $1 to like fucking $70, and now it's dumping because his wife is making another coin. I'm just, I'm just like, wow, man, they're making money, man.
Yeah, they are. They're making money like Don't Worry Me. What does it say about Alex? It's like you've seen the soul leaving their body. It's just a body. It's not more. Yeah. When my mom passed away, I remember seeing her face because she was tormented with the cancer ravaging her body and the morphine she was taking and Dilaudid.
Yeah.
And like once the spirit left her body, her face like relaxed so much. It looked like she was like 10 years younger all of a sudden.
There were times when I was working during 2020 during the height in the hospital, and I seen so many people dead from like 25 years old to like 80 years old, and I would just, you do CPR, you do the best you can. Next thing you know, they just pass away. There's nothing you could do, and it's just you get immune to that. But then afterwards, the after effect, it's like post traumatic stress disorder. It's like it's a nightmare, man. It was a war zone.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you saw a lot, man. Like,
yeah,
that's why it's kind of weird, like how people would say, like this Conan 19. Shout out to Hold the Truth for that Conan 19 reference. He like it's not real, it's fake, and wait till it hits you, or you see other people hit. It's like
they're such liars, man. Because I seen it. People were dying left and right, man. It's one thing like to be stuck in conspiracies and shit, but when real people are doing real shit and you see real people get hurt, that shit during March of 2020, that shit was not fake, man. It was not. Nah, it was not fake at all, bro.
And that we both got ravaged by it.
Yep.
In our own way. Like literally we got sick by it. I remember because and we were talking about it, and actually I got it later on because it didn't hit Taiwan. Interesting enough, it didn't come to Taiwan full force until after the injections.
Yeah. Like for me,
which is another thing to think about. It's weird.
like for me, I damaged part of my lungs. I mean, I got it like 3 times, and I mean, I'm a healthcare worker. I'm not afraid of vaccines and stuff. So obviously, I had to take them in order to keep working, and then and I did my thing where I tested myself to make sure my heart is okay, everything's fine. But I mean, it was a scary time, and I know in China they had the zero COVID policy. They were locking people up in the doors and shit, like in China. People were like dying inside. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I have to say, though I'm not necessarily afraid of the vaccines. I just didn't want any, right? And people should respect. They should respect that, people's choice, both sides of the story.
I think what happened is that the government just pushed it way too hard.
Too fast.
Too hard, too fast. But if you're a healthcare,
right? That's what it's called.
Yeah. But if you're a healthcare worker, your obligation is to heal the sick. So I was a little hesitant at the beginning, but then, it actually cleared up my symptoms, and, I even got tested by a urologist, like, hey, is it affecting, I thought, okay, is those conspiracies are affecting me? And then I noticed when I did the test, everything was perfect. My heart was perfect. Maybe good. I got lucky, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. That you did. I think you did get lucky, because I've heard people that I know that died after taking it or had heart problems. But I didn't take it. Like Alex, I didn't take it. I had my own business at the time, so a different business. So I didn't have to take it. And,
I respect people's opinions. People should decide and stuff. It's not necessary. I mean, where I lived, I was forced to, and I'm a healthcare worker. So me rejecting it is just like, it'll be kind of hypocritical. So, and plus I won't be able to work. So it's just.
Well, that was the thing. They said we're not forcing people, but it's just that you can't have your job.
Yeah.
Many teachers I know, because at the time I had my restaurant open, so I wasn't teaching. And people I used to work with at other schools, dude, they stopped working because they're like, fuck that, we're not getting it. And I mean, and they ended up actually going somewhere that actually they got treated better, but it worked out for them. But they stood on their ground, as they say, they stood on their square, and they, But yeah. So Crazy Mama, you said you didn't take it, okay? But you were a healthcare worker, got it. Conspiracy, call me conspiracy theorist. Yeah, no, we call you truther now. That's what they say, right? Truther.
I mean, 9/11 is definitely. I mean, my mother was working in that building the day before it got hit. Right? She was saying she's a cleaning lady, and she was cleaning like this computer lab. Next thing you know, these people in suits were just coming in there and they say, "Why are you in this room? Get out of here! Get out of here!" They were trying to extract data. She got scared and she left early. And
probably putting bombs in that bitch.
I believe so, man. In my opinion, there's some weird shit was happening. Yeah.
Take the wisdom cipher on that, man.
Yeah.
The wisdom says that they're doing some nefarious things.
Yeah.
How many people don't believe the government's behind it, man? Yeah. They're behind most things and whatnot. But with that said, though, it's like if I delve, that's the theme on this channel about bringing the big picture into the small picture, and the big pictures would be the conspiracy truther thing, events and stuff. But how do they relate to me? Because I find that I say this on Mel's, the more I devote my attention to these big conspiracies and stuff, the more I feel anxious, the more I feel powerless, because it's not in my sphere of influence. Even though it may be true or whatnot, my thing is dealing with the things I can change in my life and get better.
Exactly.
So this is what we're focused on here.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't be inquisitive about it, but what I notice is that if you keep going down those rabbit holes, it's just going to make you insane. All right, it's just it's like you only have one life, man. It's like you don't want to turn paranoid and shit. You want to enjoy your life. So it's what I recommend. Turn off the computer once in a while. It helps. You know?
Yeah, it does. Or if you're gonna use a computer, look at some positive stuff that'll serve you.
Like this channel. Like this channel.
Hey, appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
This is what it is. This is why like this weekend was kind of like a wake up call to get back to what we were about. You and me both have an uncommonality of wanting to help ourselves in the process. We're helping others, and as well as exposing hidden traps that we see, so they don't have to fall down those things. You know, we like to have fun and shits and giggles and shit, but let's get back to the real work at hand, right?
Exactly, like because if we delve into the madness of drama and stuff, it's just we're too old for that shit. You know, it's like it's done and it's over. Yeah. People have said their piece. It's time to go into some deeper stuff.
Right, and this now crazy mama, she says I ain't helping anyone. Okay, yeah. But the funny thing is, she is though in a long way. In her own way, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, telling people to touch grass is helping them, you know? So
it is.
Yeah.
Touch the grass, right?
Yep.
Shout out to Shadow Buddha behind the aliens. So what may be happening is there's a theory that the so-called elites are using the presidents and prime ministers and CEOs to manage the plans of the people, of the things and the beings from other galaxies, right? The interdimensional beings. They're taking high doses of psychedelics to open themselves up, these elite leaders and their managers, to download the plan, the scheme, the schematics to take over society and infiltrate them. And they're using things such as ayahuasca, DMT, psilocybin, television, Jack Talcott. No, I'm just kidding. To get there,
I mean, every time I watch his stream, it's like a trip, man.
Oh shit, yeah. All right, man. I got it. It's time to go, bro. Well, go ahead. You go ahead. You like go to Talcottian. What's your Talcottian thought at the moment?
I mean, I just say,
you always go, I don't know why they're so mean to him. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it. He just wants peace. He wants to end wars, and you know, he's trying to help. I mean, he has probably the biggest tenacity and patience I've ever seen, because dealing with guys that is I'm not going to say their names. I'm going to say one is homeless. The other one is the other one has like a fake beard and smells like crap.
What?
Yeah, you know,
what are you talking about?
Well, he has a fake beard. He smells bad, and he has like stripes and shit.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the beard is like the oxygen mask he wears. It's not like Bane, who's based, right? Bane on the plane. Shout out to Primal. It's more like an oxygen mask because the motherfucker can't breathe.
Yeah, it's just like, man, you know me, I wouldn't deal with them in 2 seconds. I'd be like, you're out of here. But the way that Jack does it, he's trying to give like an olive branch like a god. It's like, look, I'm here to help you, mentally retarded midget. You know, just chill out, okay?
Yeah. No, man. Like the Miss NBC Rebecca, she was like, because she heard me talking to Shadow the other day about the shit going on, and she's like, "Yeah, you're gonna. I hope you don't stay in that, you know, that beefing mode all the time." And I'm like, "Nah, it's not sustainable." But I'm glad she like realized the fact that it's not. She's like, just think about what Jack. It's like, just think what Jack Talcott would do. He takes your friend Jack. He takes all that garbage from people, and he gets up and takes it. Yeah, that's true. But he gets pissed too, though. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, we're only human. We're not like deities where we can't feel and get annoyed and pissed. But the best thing to do is not like, you know, it's one thing when you get attacked, right? You have the right to defend yourself. But if you're going out there Darth Vadering everything, then I recommend only doing that if you're gonna go after like big channels or like millions of followers, because then
Right.
yeah. If you're going after like people with just like regular channels, it's like, well, it's a waste, bro.
It's like
What do you?
it's a waste, yeah. Provo told me yesterday, he was the other day, he was like, yeah, you're in the, I'm paraphrasing, I see you're in the drainage, deep in the drainage of the drama here. Time to pull yourself out. Yeah. I'm like, you're right, man. That actually motivated me, Provo. Thank you for
But actually,
reminding me.
you know what? Like our talk was so prolific, is that what I've seen with the others, they were bickering with themselves, and then afterwards, it was just like, you know what? We did what we had to do. We had real talk, and things were said. It happens. People get pissed. And then afterwards, we say, "Yeah, we acknowledge we went a little too far, but at the end of the day, we're gonna move on." That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the deal on that for sure. You're right. What did Alex say? You said I sound like Reba who is that? Reba McIntyre? I thought she's talking about you, crazy mama. She's talking about me. Let me see who this person is.
She's saying you sound like Reba. Oh, you mean like Reba, that show with the redhead?
Yeah, she's a country singer. Reba McIntyre? Oh no, she's saying that. No, I said crazy mama sound like her, not me.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
Let me see. Well, here's her song. Let me see her talking.
It's some kind of weather we're having, ain't it, Fancy? I'll tell you what, I've seen every movie you've ever made, and my wife Louise, she's got every record you ever made. Fancy Ray Baker, my goodness. You know, I really didn't know you was from this area. But I'll tell you what,
People tend to pass judgment on you when you're getting a divorce.
There was one woman that wrote a real heavy letter to me and said, "How dare you get a divorce?"
Crazy mama.
You know, how do you answer something like that? And she said that she patterned her life after me, and that she had me on a pedestal, and she truly idolized me. And I wrote her back, and I said, "Well, ma'am," and well, she said she stayed with her husband because I stayed with my husband. I said, "First of all, you need to not look up to me, because I'm just a human that makes huge mistakes just like everybody else. And if you want to find someone that's perfect, you need to look to God, because he's the only one that's perfect." And I told her I was terribly sorry that I had to do what I needed to do in my life to go on with my life. And I really did feel for staying with her husband just because I did. I said, you need to really
Look at your own life.
look at your own life and think about things a little bit more. And don't go look at other people, how they're doing their life.
Yeah, people tend to pass judgment on you when
That's
you're
it.
getting
I
a
was just
divorce.
fucking with you, crazy mom. I thought you were. I'd be taking shit too seriously. That was good advice, though. Reba gave, huh?
Yeah, it's like
Don't put
that's
it on
what
a
happens.
pedestal.
Yep. Another thing is like, if you're a creator, right, and you're just going around kind of like just giving your judgment, I mean, what's going to happen is that most of these people, they do get drunk, they do things that they regret, and they ruin friendships, you know.
Yeah.
And I see it time and time again. You know, these people that judge others like that so critically, right?
Right.
They're not so great themselves. And then when real people talk like we do, it's like game over.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you saying, but I'll put this caveat that the way I see it, they're real people too. It's just that what they're sharing might not be real compared to what we're sharing. That's all I'll say, because not to, we're all human, I think, hopefully. Maybe there's some mankind's, but let's try to be authentic as much as possible, right? We do have personas that we put up on here on YouTube, but we spoke on this before. Like, it's hard to be fake on here because it's too much work, man, as it is.
Yeah.
So why not try to be as authentic as possible? You know?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Right.
And plus everything. When you got a lot of haters, right? They're gonna record everything and stuff, but at the same time, you're gonna get also the equal amount of people liking you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Shout out to Machine Lies in the building. What up? Blessing Shadow Buddha. And then Provo, he said, "Yeah, you're better without the drama." I hear you. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Alexander? Good to see you. Look at that cat, that black cat. He's fucking.
Yeah.
That's a champ right there.
He's chilling right there. Yeah.
He's chilling, bro.
He's ready for
So what you got?
He's ready for the
what?
inauguration. He's ready for the inauguration.
So that's tomorrow, stateside, right?
Yeah.
Wilderness of North America. Okay. Because
Yeah.
it's in the 20th year already. So that would be, if we're doing supreme mathematics, that would be the 21st to wisdom and knowledge, knowledge, right? Which 2 + 1 is what? 3, understanding. So we're going to have some understanding about all this political madness that's been going on.
Or
Right? So
3 is also kind of comedy also. With that Gary the Numbers guy, he used to say
yeah,
that.
yeah. I thought Zerka 3.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a 3, huh?
He's a 3, so
Zerka
it's
the
like
Gemini.
he's a weird guy. I mean, I ran into him, and it was kind of funny. Getting striked by him, I was like, man, that's funny.
Yeah,
But
I like his content, but he is all over the place.
yeah,
But come on, he is a Vulcan, so we have to at least like not that maybe he has at least one thing good going for him.
well, the thing I gotta say, there's some elements where it is like, oh yeah, this is like a Vulcan move right here, and kind of his actions is like, there's like no thought into it. He just does whatever the fuck he wants.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that sounds like somebody I know. Shifty.
Yeah, but I'm more reserved. You know, I just me spending time online from 2020, I learned a lot. Like, kind of just like, you know what? If you got nothing good to say, just don't say it. Yeah,
Right. That's a good point.
yeah.
Very good point. It saved you a lot of trouble. Well, we
Yeah.
got something to say. We'll be back tomorrow, and actually, got another interview scheduled for Thursday my time, but Friday. No, Friday my time. Thursday for y'all in the wilderness of North America. With the vengeful truthful. We're gonna talk about. He wants to know about the council because people keep talking about our council or NPC the game.
Ooh, nice.
Voting. So we're gonna give some transparency on that. And probably dive into the sectors that from the all of the above sector of this palaverse we're in, the subsectors, and give you a little bit of knowledge and wisdom and an understanding, hopefully, of what they mean and how each one of them has equal representation. So we'll talk about that on Thursday on his channel. So shout out to him. Appreciate the invite. What about you, Shifty? You got any lives coming up, Pran? I know you be fucking killing it all the time.
For me, at this moment, I've been doing some training, if you know what I mean. But definitely, I'll probably get back in the weekend because I notice with my day job, it gets kind of tough. So I'm gonna probably just save it for the weekend.
Okay.
It's something like I want to put like a new format, something that I made myself, and requires a little bit more time to thought process and more of with AI animations and kind of also using OBS because the production is definitely want to use that.
Yeah, definitely. I heard that. Yeah, OBS is definitely on the list. It's gonna help us. That's gonna help us take this channel to next heights, and especially the awards. But we'll talk about that. So, dude, I'll see you in the Discord, bro.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, man. I'll see you later, man.
I appreciate you coming through, brother.
Yeah. No problem, man. Peace.
Peace. What's going on, OTW? Good to see you, bro. He was the first the last 2 days. Now he's the last. The first will be the last. Shout out to everyone that came by. Really appreciate you. Like I said, Hornet, I think I'll at you at this. Tell me what you think about this. It is what it is. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow, definitely. We'll be here. And in the coming days. Oh, and this has been the Wisdom Cipher. Wisdom 0. Wisdom 2. Cipher 0, right? 2 + 0 is wisdom. Shout out to the woman, all the beautiful inside and out women there in the chat. Crazy Mama. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. Pixel T. At the great Alexandria. Yes, appreciate you, Gemini Princess. Let me see, everybody. The great Izzy, holding it down as always. Right. Charlie, our cosmic artist in the building. Check out her AI. I need to put all these links of her channel is dope. Ozzy, oh my gosh, I missed you. I did miss you. How can I not? How can I miss you? When you're always on my mind. Ozzy Mende, always good to see you. Root Crab, what's up, player? Hurricane, Watch Me Tower, The Raging Patriot, 1776. Salute, bro. My my streaming dual partner, London Man, much love. Look Within, the hardest working man in the metaverse. Get some sleep now. Now you're allowed to go back to sleep. The prolific Jess White in the building. Like I said, I love that avatar, that picture, especially with that soft lens filter. And I'm a sucker for pigtails. Shout out to Provo, the best monologuer of all time in this panelverse and beyond. Right, the shifty one. Thank you for coming by, brother. My brother from another. Yeah, and leopard, the beautiful leopard print, the amazing leopard print, the keep me out of trouble leopard print. The great brother Jack Talcott in the house. Man, so many legends in the building. My twin Shadowback, the producer who makes all this happen, and best friend as well. Let's see, and the OTW, right? Machine Lies, recipient of the MPC Award, Panelverse Educator, Best Educational Stream Award, and Musical Soundtrack, double recipient winner. And peace, y'all. Here's the Hyperspace Discord. Check it out for a tryout. Like minds or not like minds, check it out. We have a lot of interesting channels there with the main focus of self-development while having a good time. All right. So in the coming days, which is tomorrow, we'll see you next time here on NBC The Game live. Thank you. Peace.